Paul Manafort came onto this campaign and tried to make Donald Trump more moderate in a way. You outlined that in the book, and it didn't go particularly well. What role is he playing in all of this right now?
Well, what he was playing in the campaign was he came in after Trump had essentially locked up the nomination, and there's a great deal of fear that the Republican establishment would try and steal the nomination in an open convention, and running conventions has been Manafort's expertise since the 70s, so he helped guide Trump through that rocky convention. But Manafort's own personal problems and his political problems, namely a New York Times story showing that he had taken cash payments from a pro-Russian Ukrainian party, really cost him and made him radioactive in Trump's orbit. And I, of course, tell the story in the book of how he was fired by Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law. But Manafort and the problems that he's had with Russia have continued to dog the Trump administration because this is now part of Bob Mueller's special counsel.
How big a point of focus is he in this constellation with all these different focus points? What role is Paul Manafort playing in these investigations?
Well, we don't know for sure, but it sure looks on the outside like he's playing a very, very big role. Manafort has well-documented ties to pro-Russian politicians going back years and years, long before Donald Trump came on the scene, and there have been some pretty significant evidence of, if not collusion, then certainly contact between Manafort and either agents of the Russian government or people connected to Russia in a way that is not considered kosher or appropriate for a campaign manager to be having in the midst of a presidential election.
So we saw Mr. Manafort come in and try to rein in a candidate Trump. Now we have John Kelly as chief of staff trying to, again, make this kind of intractable administration work. Is it a similar situation? Do you foresee there being trouble with John Kelly?
You know, I hadn't thought about it until you pointed that out, but it's true. You know, you had Corey Lewandowski, who was the kind of wild man who let Trump be Trump, followed by Manafort, who tried to sand off the rough edges, followed by Steve Bannon, who was more in the wild man mode, and now you have Kelly, who is someone who is certainly trying to, if not contain Trump, then limit some of the collateral damage that comes from Trump. For instance, retweeting stories based on classified information or repeating perhaps baseless charges that he hears on Fox News. That seemed to be going well for a couple of days, but then, of course, Trump came out with these bellicose statements on North Korea, and everyone now is scrambling to try and understand what that means.